Good morning, students. Today we will do the poem How Doth the Little Busy Bee, lesson 2.4 on page 35. Now, this is actually two poems because it is a parody. Now, what is a parody? If you turn to the next page, you will see this second part. A parody is playful, comic, imitation of a writer's style. A parody is like a verbal cartoon. Yes, so it is when one poet has written a poem and another poet is trying to imitate that same poem in his own style, trying to maybe make fun of it or add some comic element in it. Okay, so he will keep the same number of lines in his poem that as in the original poem. Yes, he will not change the pattern of the poem, but he will change the words, and he will try to add an element of uh, fun in it. Okay, so now the original poem. How doth the little busy bee? How doth the little busy bee improve each shining hour and gather honey all the day from every opening flower? How skillfully she builds her cell, how neat she spreads her wax, and labors hard to store it well with the sweet food she makes. Yes, now DOTH is Old English. It is an archaic word, ARCHIAC. It is an archaic word for does, DOES. So the modern word for it would be does. Old English would be doth. Okay, poetic language also. Generally it's used in poetry. All this. How doth the little busy bee, B is repeated, letter B is repeated, so alliteration. Now, why is he calling the bee busy? Because you'll never find a bee doing nothing. You'll always find a bee hovering around the flowers, trying to find nectar from it, going back to its hive, and working all the time. Okay. Improve each shining hour. So, every hour, how does it improve itself? And gather honey all the day. So, the whole day, what does the bee do? Gathers honey. From where? From every opening flower. So, it gathers honey. There may be innumerable number of flowers, but it will try to go to each flower and gather honey from there. How skillfully she builds her cell. Skillfully means with great talent. Yes, very, she does it so well in such a talented manner. What is her cell? You can see around the poem that it's drawn. The cell is, the poem is in a bee cell. Yes, around the poem, this part of the, see, this is the cell. This is the cell here. This is the cell. So each cell, as you see, these are the many cells which will be touching each other, and that will form the beehive. So each cell has this shape with six corners. Yes, it has this shape with six sides, and they will be touching each other and form into a beehive. And in each cell you will find that the bee is collecting the honey and preserving it in each cell, then closing the cell with wax. Yes, so that's how they are telling. They first of all, they build this cell so neatly that you can see each cell is touching each other, and they made it so neat. Yes, they don't have rulers. Remember, they don't have rulers, they don't have measurements to measure, but they do it so skillfully by themselves. And then after that, they collect the honey, make it into collect the nectar, make it into honey, and then seal the chamber with wax. How neat she spreads her wax. So here again you can have alliteration because the letter S is repeated. And labors hard to store her well. Okay, now if you look at this word labor, LABOR, this is written by an American poet. That is why it is LABOR. If it was written by a British poet, it would have been LABOUR. That's the English we follow, British English. Yes, so it would have been LABOUR. Whereas here, since it's written by an American poet, it is LABOR. And labors hard to store it well. Labors means works very hard physically. Yes, you can work hard mentally, you can work hard emotionally, but here is working hard physically, doing the work physically with the sweet food she makes. Here again S is repeated, so alliteration. Letter S is repeated, so alliteration. Now what is the sweet food that she's making? That is honey. Okay, so she stores this sweet food that she makes, that is honey. She stores it well and spreads her wax over it to seal it off. Now we go to the parody. How doth the little crocodile? Okay, this is the parody of the above poem. How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale? So how doth the little crocodile? So here the crocodile, if you see itself, is not little, it is very huge. Yes, grows up to be very huge, a huge animal. Improve his shining tail. So how does he improve his tail and makes it shine? How does he do? He pours the water of the Nile. So here you're talking of the crocodile which is living in the Nile river on every golden scale. So here every scale he tries to dip it in the water and pour water on it. He sees that he is immersed in the water so that his scale, each scale on his body shines. How cheerfully he seems to grin. Now if you see, grin means you smile showing your teeth. When you smile showing your teeth, it is called grinning. Okay. So you see they're calling the crocodile a cheerful animal. Do you think the crocodile is a cheerful animal? No, but they're saying it just for fun. Yes, and why is he saying cheerful? Because he's grinning, he's showing all his teeth. But do you think crocodile is really showing his teeth to smile? No, he's showing his teeth because he wants to eat whatever is around him. How neatly spreads his claws. Here his claws, he's saying they look so horrible and so deadly, so dangerous. But here she's describing them as being very neatly spread. And welcomes little fishes in. So what is he doing? He is opening his mouth and smiling and spreading his claws and welcoming. It's like when you want to welcome someone in your house, how do you gesture? You make the this with your hands, actions with your hand. Yes, do come in. So he is saying the crocodile, and you have a smile on your face. The same way the crocodile has a smile on his face and is gesturing or welcoming the fishes inside his mouth even by spreading his claws with gently smiling jaws. So what is he saying? Jaws, the teeth of his, the jaws, jabra, what do you say, is smiling very, very wide and very gentle. Now do you think the crocodile is a gentle creature? No, not at all. It's a dangerous creature which can take your life for no reason at all. I mean, you may not know when you have been attacked by a crocodile and killed. Yes. So now if you see, this poem is a parody of the poem which was about this. Okay. So I hope you all liked the poem. Now let's see what you can do. Yes, you can write the meaning of the first exercise. Write the meaning of dot. I told you DOTS. Opening means blooming, BLOOMING. Here the flowers are opening means they're blooming. Okay, and cell is each a chamber. It's a chamber. Okay. Okay. Now here, this also, if you can do, please do it. Choice of subject. Here also it is an animal. Here also it is an animal. This is what animal is here? Here you have the bee. Here you have the crocodile. How many number of lines are there? Both have 8 lines and 2 stanzas. Here also you will have 8 lines and 2 stanzas. Here also you have 8 lines and 2 stanzas. Remember the parody, the number of lines, everything remains the same. Okay, because they're making identical sort of poems, only a little comedy. Same or similar construction. Here you can say the construction is the same, only here it's constructed in such a way that it makes you laugh. Here it is serious. Here it is a serious poem. Here it is a poem which makes you laugh. Okay, the tone of the poem is also serious. The bee, which is supposed to be a good and helpful creature, because it's shown that it makes honey, it makes wax, but it is also a dangerous creature because it can sting. And here the crocodile, which is an absolutely dangerous creature, is said to have a mischievous and funny smile and a welcoming smile. Okay, so the tone of the poem is here mischievous and funny. Here it is a serious poem. Yes. Okay. You can do this number 4 also. Which of the words will describe? Yes. For the crocodile. Can you describe the crocodile as little? No. Does he have a shining tail? Okay, yes. Does he have golden scales? Okay, yes. Is he cheerful? No. He has jaws? Yes. Is he smiling gently? No. He has claws? Yes. Is he grinning? You can say he is grinning because he is showing his teeth. So whatever is true, you will tick it. Okay? Okay. So your lesson is over. And please do your homework as I have told you. I will give you the question answers on the comprehension later on. Thank you.